Hello everybody, I'm DK Green, psychotherapist, shamanic practitioner, etc, etc. And I'm a trans man. I wasn't born this handsome. So I made some notes, but only bullet points, because I am not backwards in coming forwards and I talk a lot. My biggest challenge today is going to be keeping it to 12 minutes. So, chuntering on and pressing start on my timer so I can keep an eye on it. I'm feeling nicely regulated, thank you. Had to be done. Genderfuckery, finding the joy. So I've put this talk into as little as I can. It's a day-long workshop, so I chopped it to 12 minutes, okay? Bear with. I made it in a 3-part, like a meal, right? So we're going to have an appetizer, a few words. We're going to have a main meal, top tips, and we're going to have a dessert, which is where all the sexy stuff is, okay? Right, I first created this for a room full of cishet people because I wanted to give them a cisgender simply means aligned with the gender you were assigned at birth, and heterosexual, obviously. And it was to try and give them an idea of what it might feel like to have a different sense of your own gender. That was the purpose. Here, I'm talking to a fabulously queer room. So I'm actually going to, and I knew that, so I've written the appetizer and probably the main meal is for the gender fuckers that are already in the audience. Okay? The juicy bit is for everybody else, including the gender fuckers, but also the rest of you. Right, finding joy, potential, excitement and happiness as a transgender person amidst a challenging socio-political climate involves actively cultivating inner resilience, seeking supportive communities and intentionally focusing on the positive aspects of your identity and your journey. Finding joy does not mean ignoring what's difficult. It means also holding space for happiness, for connection and celebration. Despite the challenges that we face, small everyday actions can help us to feel grounded, loved and hopeful. Challenging the binary. I love that. You get, as a trans challenged person, no, hang on, let me reword that. As a person who wants to be a gender fucker of some variety or other, you get a front row seat to the absurdities of the rigid gender norms. Your existence inherently challenges these limitations, which can be an exciting act of defiance and a chance to help break down toxic assumptions for everyone. Another joy, you get to choose and create who you want to be. Discovering who you really are can be enormous fun. Names, presentation, clothing. The things that bring you joy in validating your sense of gender, or differently gendered. The self you project to the world. Essentially, you get to freshly recreate yourself. That's exciting. Top tips. This is the meat of the meal. This is for the gender fuckers in the room, okay? Build resilience. Seek community. Chosen family. There's something particular I want to say about that, and that is we all know what the rate of, trigger warning, suicidality is for men in this world, in our society. Do you know that the trans suicide rates are huge as well? I mean, huge. We need to make it. We need to survive. This talk is about finding the joy in it so that we can fucking thrive, not just survive. Okay? So, guess what the top factor is against suicidality? Supportive family. If you don't have that, you bloody well find it and make it. Supportive family. If you happen to be, for example, agoraphobic, autistic, you're not out there, so you can't find that other than online, one adult human who is supportive of you is a protective factor. Okay? So go out, find that community. Chosen family. Support gender-affirming professionals like me. There's a lot of us about. When I first started, there was like half a dozen of us that I knew. Now there's lots. Every year, more come through. More gender-affirming professionals that can help you. Okay? Quiet moments. We get so wrapped up in doing life, we forget about being life. Quiet, reflective moments are nourishing and nurturing, so make the space for that too. Creativity, something I had to kick up the pants last month about because I'm so busy working. I'm passionate about my work, so it's what I love too. I'd forgotten about creativity, so I went and started painting again. It was great fun. Creativity, keep that in there. Self-care up the wazoo. In my therapeutic work, I quite often talk about the 4 table legs. I've got 5. There we are. 4 table legs of self-care, basic self-care. That's eating, sleeping, hydration, and getting outdoors. Getting outdoors is really important in terms of we live in our boxes, right? We are literally socialized to go, we live and sleep in one box, we get in a box on wheels, we go to another box to do something else. If we go out socializing, we just go to another box. We don't spend enough time under the sky instead of under a roof. So get out your box. That's one of your 4 table legs. If one leg's wonky, you're kind of all right, you're wobbly. If 2 legs are wonky, your table's going to fall over. Keep those 4. Everything else, exercise, nutrition, fun, creativity, passion, excitement, is additional. Got to keep those 4 table legs on the floor. Celebrate my milestones. I've pressed something, sorry. Okay. Celebrate your milestones when you explore. What's the first thought that you had? My anecdotal memory that quite a few people know about is, I grew up in a world without the internet. I had no bloody clue. Hello? I had no clue that gender was even a thing. All I knew was I was a really crap woman. Everybody else got the manual. I didn't. It's a bit like having neurodivergence, really. I was an alien pretending to be a woman. So the standing joke is I would always take forever to get ready to go out at night, right? And I'm talking red sheath dresses, cut to the thigh, big hair, big lips, big makeup, and it would take me flipping forever because I was creating a costume, a mask, and I'd finally get to the mirror and I'd do this. Yeah, you'll do. And I'd go out. Except for this one night, I went, yeah, I'd tap that. And I thought, oh, shit. Pretty sure people don't think that way. But what I'd actually done is I was creating what I desired, not who I was. Playing with gender unwittingly, unknowingly. Figured it out eventually. I'm a late bloomer, what can I say? Here we go, more tips. Curate your media consumption, train the algorithms, seriously stop reading the miserable stuff, start following passionate gender providers. There's a lot of it about, there's a lot of us about, okay? Curate it, it trains the algorithm. Activism. Now we often feel like we should, right? It's my job, it's part of my duty. Hey, this is part of my activism. Yeah. However, activism is a choice, not an obligation. It can be simply buying from trans sellers or liking and sharing their media. It's not only the frontline marching. Some of us physically can't do that anymore. But you can always find a way. And you also don't have to. It's not obligatory. This is where allies can step up so we're not doing all the work ourselves. Right, on to the juicy stuff. You'll be very relieved to hear. Genderfuckery time. The Gender Walk experience. It was created by Barbara Corellis with Urban Tantra, and I learnt it probably a dozen years ago now. And she doesn't actually do it anymore because her Tantra work is so gender-fucked. It's fantastic that there's so many genderfuckery people in there that she doesn't do it because it's kind of pointless. The Gender Walk was to teach cisgendered people how to play with their own gender. Okay, how to experience their gender differently. So you literally spend half an hour, I can't actually move, but just as a demonstration, you would spend half an hour or 20 minutes walking from one side of a room to another, everybody in a row. And with every step, with your eyes closed, it's an internal, individual process. With every single step, you shed something from your gender. You could shed your clothes, and people did. But it was primarily an underlying conversation that I run alongside the gender walk is letting go of things like good girl. Letting go of things like boys don't cry. Letting go of things like not from that shelf, you need the blue shelf. All of those things. And I can do that for 20 minutes. And I've had people shed all the parts of their gender that they are recognizing is socialization, because let's face it, 99% of it is socialization. Okay? By the end of it, they are genderless. It's a spiritual journey as well. They can let go of all of it. And then they turn around and they walk back the other way, just as slow a process, and they decide to pick up a piece of gender that they like. A piece of might be a different gender, until they reach the other side. And they learn to explore themselves in a differently gendered way. And it is sexy as hell to watch and be a participant of. So I've not got much longer left, so I'm going to get down to the last bit, the juicy bit. Gender euphoria. Everybody talks about gender dysphoria, the stuff that feels like shit. Gender euphoria looks like this. There's a story behind that, very, very quickly. It was the first time I ever walked into the sea in a pair of shorts, and I felt free for the first time. I've done it again. Explore yourselves sexually. You can get together with each other. You don't have to do tab A goes into slot B. We all know this. I'm in a room full of sexuality bloody professionals. But try something different. The Genderfuckery workshop that I did at Taboo Fest, I managed to give somebody a very delicious blowjob who had an assigned female, I wonder who that was, assigned female at birth clit. It wasn't, it was a dick for that purpose. Okay, talk about language. Talk about what do you want your parts to be called? How do you want it to be treated? In my case, if someone wants to give me a blowjob, they need to not do what they think of as cunnilingus. I don't want that. That's not me. Suck my dick. That's what it means to me. Okay, I had a non-binary AMAB, assigned male at birth person, who I demonstrated it was perfectly possible to fuck without a real hole there. I mean, yes, of course, there's the man cunt, there's the arse. However, in the perineum, there's also some bodily parts. I'm not going to bore you all with Grey's Anatomy, but literally where pressure can feel like entry, penetration. Okay, breasts and chests, you can treat those things differently. You know, find out where that pressure point is, where it becomes, oh, it's a boob, as opposed to a chest. Put your head on my chest, not on my boob, on my chest. Or, indeed, completely the opposite. What's it like to treat this male-presenting body as boobs? What might that feel like or look like? Explore it, taste it. Obviously, boundaries, consent, pre-negotiation, have some conversation. But bottom line is, get down and dirty with your gender. Fuck with it, literally. Genderfuckery. Thank you.